My name is Derek Hankerson. I am a state senate candidate for District 6. I am the only person in this race whose family dates back to the 1700s in this district. And in fact, my relatives were some of the first Republicans. As an example, my great-grandfather was the first Republican postmaster in Elkton, which is in St. Johns County. Another relative, Reverend Joseph Brooks Hankerson, was a Republican on the Daytona City Commission in the 1886. I am a lifelong Republican. Unlike my opponent, John Thrasher, who was a former Democrat, I would vote in favor of reduced government, less taxes, more individual freedom, and less intrusion by the federal government. I'm running on 5 issues: economic development, agriculture, public education, health and wellness, and public transportation. I believe that I am the candidate who can help restore our founding principles to the state senate. More importantly, should you elect me, Derek Hankerson, as your state senator, I will be the first African-American Republican to serve in the state senate since 1882. The last person to serve in the state senate as a Republican in Florida was Duval's own Joseph E. Lee, who served from 1881 to 1882. This race is about 2016 as well as about 2014. Some basic facts. Governor Scott's re-election campaign has no African Americans. Governor Scott has no African Americans in his cabinet. There are no African Americans at the GOP, or should I say the Florida GOP. If we expect to win in 2016, we're going to have to do a lot of work to reach out to the minority community. These are facts. I'm not playing the race card, they're basic facts. The bottom line is this: my record speaks for itself, as does my opponent's record. If you look at my opponent's record, he votes lock, stock, and barrel with President Obama. So come August 17th through the August 26th, you have an opportunity to choose your next state senator. I am Derek Hankerson. Let's make history together. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you favor or oppose implementing the Convention of the States Amendment, and why?
I absolutely favor implementing Convention of States. We basically need to get back to our basic individual freedoms, individual rights, free enterprise, and the Convention of States. I must add that I had the opportunity to work for Americans for Prosperity during the last presidential election, and my director is now the executive director or interim executive director of the Convention of States. But to answer your question, we need to get back to limiting the government's power. We need to impose term limits. We need to get back to individual freedom, and we need to limit fiscal constraint by the federal government.
Do you support or oppose non-life-threatening aid to illegal immigrants from taxes and fees imposed on Floridians?
Unlike my opponent, who is in favor of tuition tax breaks to illegal aliens, just think, all 50,000 illegal aliens who are at the border today would have tuition tax breaks thanks to Senator Thrasher. But to answer your question, I vehemently oppose any financial aid to illegal aliens. We need to support our American citizens before we do anything else.
The right to life issue is being fought in states' legislatures across the country. What is your position?
I am pro-life.
Where do you stand on Common Core curriculum and the issue of data mining over 400 elements on our children with our loss of privacy on this data?
Again, unlike my opponent, John Thrasher, I am vehemently opposed to Common Core data mining. And in fact, Senator Thrasher was the lead sponsor, the only sponsor of Senate Bill 6, which is Common Core. In addition, he's a supporter of data mining. What our politicians, such as my opponent, doesn't tell you is that Bill and Melinda Gates stand to earn $5 billion off of dumbing down our American students. I am opposed to that.
There are numerous records and reports of American history rewritten in Florida textbooks. Have you reviewed these examples, and what will you do to ensure the accuracy of historical text?
That's a great question. As a writer, producer, filmmaker, and publisher myself, there are serious inaccuracies, and that's one of the reasons why I'm running. My family's from the South. They're from Tennessee, and my father's family's from Florida. I've been dismayed with the negative connotations that are in our history books since I was 10 years old. I'm 49. You can bet your bottom dollar, as your next state senator from the great state of Florida, state senator, that I will work to make sure that our history is accurate. For example, the original Underground Railroad ran south to Spanish Florida. Our liberal history textbooks would have you believe that it only ran north to Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Canada. In addition, most of the militias that were formed in the great state of Florida were formed by Africans who left the British plantations to free themselves. So you can be rest assured that I would work to correct our history textbook so that it properly reflects the Southerners' view with reference to accuracy and education.
Thank you, Mr. Hankerson. Do you have any closing remarks?
I look forward to your vote. I will do any and everything within the law, within my ethical prism, to represent the citizens of the 6th District to the best of my ability without kowtowing to fat cat lobbyists and special interest groups unlike my opponent. Thank you.